Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I have got another video for you today in my little mini series reviewing UK based arts and crafts focused subscription boxes. I did a similar thing last year. I think it's a good time of year to look at them just as we're all starting to think about putting our Christmas wish lists and shopping lists together. I think a subscription box is just a brilliant idea for a gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving. I love it. Ever since I was a little kid, it's been my favourite kind of gift. Is always the one that gets me arting and crafting. I've got 6 different boxes to look at, all based in the UK, all very different. So I've already looked at, I think the first day I did the Maker's Flock, and they have a Maker's Main box as well, so that's all needle felting. Then the next day I did Deborah Beads. Debbie sent me a bead box and a kit box. They do 2 different ones, so that would have been yesterday. And then today I'm going to look at ScrawlrBox. I've also got Craftiosity and Stitch Kit still to come, and possibly one more. Cozy Craft Club, unfortunately their email to me got lost in my spam, so I didn't see it for more than a week, so I have emailed them back. I don't know if we're going to be able to sort it out in time now, but which is a shame because I would have loved to have had a look at their box as well, but if we don't do it this time, we do it next time. Anyway, so today I'm going to do ScrawlrBox. So this is my this is my little pile of boxes, and we've done this one, and we've done these 2, we've done this one. Today we're going to look at these, and I'll tell you why we got 2 in a minute. Oops, I am recording. So the idea is that in this first round of videos, I'm going to open up the boxes, see what's inside, have a quick look at each company's website. I'll put one of those out every day for 5 days, or maybe 6 if Cozy Craft Club if we can sort that out. And then after that, the next round of videos will be actually doing the activities contained in each box, and at the end of each of those videos we'll do a quick little summary of how I found the box and what we think. And then I'll put a guide together with a link to I'll put all of these on a playlist. I'll put a guide together with links to the websites and that playlist. Let's stop waffling on and go straight into the box, shall we? Waffling is my middle name. So, ScrawlrBox. The reason I've got 2 is that the lovely Chris Lambert at ScrawlrBox has given me an extra one. He said he could send the current box, or I could choose a previous box. So I just chose a previous box so I could get it in plenty of time. And he sent me 2 of the same box so that I can give one away. So I'm going to give this other box away at our December live stream. So that will go out on the 7th. Hang on, let me just check. It's the first Saturday of every month. It'll fall on the 7th of December this time. And we've got lots of things planned for that live stream. So yeah, it'd be a lot of fun, and it'd be really nice to have some goodies to give away. And actually what I'm planning to do is with the other boxes, whatever I make, the projects that I make from each of the boxes, I'm going to do them as giveaways as well. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. We do also now do a weekly Whip and Waffle Wednesday, which is an altogether more chilled, quiet craft club type of live stream. That is every Wednesday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. UK time. So that's the little quiet ones. They're going to be going on every week, and then once a month, the first Saturday of every month, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time, we'll carry on and still do the Arty Farty parties. They're a lot of fun. They're a bit more hectic, so we tend to have giveaways, we tend to have guests. I don't tend to get much crafting done. The Wednesdays are kind of a bit more chilled. Anyway, enough of that. So, see, I've gone away from the desk again now, haven't I? So, for people that don't know, ScrawlrBox is a UK-based art supplies subscription box. This is the only art supplies box that I'm going to be reviewing. I am a huge fan of ScrawlrBox. I had a ScrawlrBox subscription for well over 5 years, maybe even 5 or 6 years, right from fairly early days, and I absolutely loved it. In the end, when I retired, I had to you know, I retired early, so I had to pull the belt in a little bit, and I've already got a room full of art supplies and stuff, so in the end I had to let it go very reluctantly, because even when you have got a room full of art supplies and craft supplies, it's still lovely to get this little box of inspiration every month. And it also encourages you to use the supplies you've got in different ways. I loved I absolutely love ScrawlrBox. Part of the fun of having a subscription box as well is the surprise of going in. They don't all keep it a surprise, but ScrawlrBox do try to, and I'm not going to get that this time because I've chosen a previous box. So I'm going to put this one to one side and keep for that giveaway, and I'm going to go back to the desk and finally get around to opening this one. Here we go. Here's what you get. Rip strip. And we're in. It's still exciting, even though I know what's in here, it's still lovely, this moment of opening. I love the box. One of the things I'm going to look at with each box is the packaging, in terms of how eco-friendly it is and what have you. And you can see there's no plastic packaging in here. Obviously sometimes there will be, it depends on the supplies, but they're pretty eco-friendly, ScrawlrBox. They've stopped doing the little, what I used to call the menu card, that gives you information about all the supplies. You can scan that or go online to find it now. We always get a ScrawlrZine, which I'm not going to peek in yet, because what I would normally do is have a look at the supplies first rather than spoil the surprise. Love the design on here. You always get a piece of artwork by the featured artist. In this case, Maisie Summer. Lovely name. There's her socials. Some information about her. Love that style. That would be my kind of shop as well. Books, homeware and art supplies. That's like the only kind of shopping I like. Well, maybe it'd be a junk shop as well, actually, for me. You always get some kind of a substrate. Usually it'll be a little paper pad of some kind, but not always. I think we've had art boards before, you know, something to work on. So in this case, it feels quite nice. Watercolour paper. I love this is hot pressed. You don't see hot press so often, and I don't understand why more people don't love it as much as I do. It's got all the benefits of watercolour paper, but it's smooth. It's not got that texture that more sort of normal watercolour paper has. And because I like to do pen work over my watercolours, I like hot press. 200 GSM, so it's a good weight. So then the exciting part, the gubbins, is in this little package, and this is the fun part, and I'm still getting the goose pimples of excitement even though I know what's in here. See, this is the thing, isn't it, with a subscription box? It's like a little gift to yourself, or a gift from whoever's bought it for you every month. I'm a huge fan of subscription boxes. They're just so inspiring. Oh, I forgot you always get the sweetie as well. Chubba chops. Yum yum, be eating that later. Always keep the tissue. Oh, you always get the Scrawlr sticker. I got such a big collection of Scrawlr stickers. I tend to stick them all over my sketchbooks and things. And usually it will be from the artwork or from the zine, which you can see it's from the zine. And we've got a little round, quite fine round paintbrush. Looks nice. Pro Art, round number 2, white nylon. So it's not a soft watercolour brush, bit of a clue there. We've got a little tube of white gouache, and then we've got some Derwent pencils. Now, what kind of pencils is this going to be? Because they put lots of the pencils go in these. It could be any of their kinds of pencils in this box. And this is one of my favourite kind of pencils. Gorgeous mix of colours. So these are Inktense pencils, and I love Inktense pencils. We've got a lovely range of colours here. I've got a good collection of Inktense pencils, but I'm not sure I've got orange sorbet. Maybe that's new since I got mine. So we've got orange sorbet, iron blue, lime green, olivine, baked earth and pink flamingo. I'm not sure I've got pink flamingo either. I wonder if that's new. Anyway, lovely range of colours, which I will swatch in a minute. So the thing about Inktense is, in a way, they kind of work like a watercolour pencil in that you can activate them with water, but they're not watercolour, they're ink. Once you've activated them, they're permanent. Inktense also comes in blocks and little paint palettes. I have got some of the sticks as well, the blocks, and you can use them to colour on fabric and things as well as on paper. This is a good case in point where, although I've already got Inktense pencils, if I'd have got this box as part of a subscription, I'd have still been thrilled with it, because A, I've got 2 or 3 colours that I didn't have already, and in any case I'll always use them. B, it will get me using them in different ways. There'll be a prompt in here as well to inspire me to create something I might not have thought of doing otherwise. And also it's making me think, right, we've got an opaque paint here which I can use to add highlights, but also I could try activating my Inktense pencils with this paint and see what happens. Oh, do you know, I've so missed having my ScrawlrBox. Scrawler day was always a red letter day. Okay, so let's have a look. Now we know what's inside, let's have a look in the zine. So this is where you see like a breakdown of what you've got in the box. So Inktense. These pencils hold a mighty strong ink-like pigment that activate with water. It's ink-like pigment, that's probably a good way to describe it. 10 sheets of watercolour paper, tiny brush for little details. Sweet treat, it's a cola flavoured chewy sweet. Daler-Rowney gouache, powerful, white, bright enough to layer over the Inktense pigments. Once dried, these watercolours won't reactivate, making them ideal for layering and building intensities. That's one of the reasons I love them. You can just use them as pencils as well, but they really come alive when you activate them with water. Here's where you can scan this code to get more information about the supplies and prices of the supplies. That some people like to add up what they've got. To me, I've always said it's not just about what the individual supplies would add up to when you look at value for money of the box, because they've been put together for you. You wouldn't necessarily have thought of putting these particular supplies together. You've also got all of the inspiration, and you've got a prompt and everything. You've got the Facebook group, they've got a Discord community now. They're very, very busy on Instagram. There's lots of prompts and challenges and giveaways to join. There's, it's all of that as well. It's not just about what things add up to. However, having said that, if you want to go and look up the prices of everything to see what the value is, then you can do that. There's always this little article about the artist, which I will enjoy later. Love the style of her work, really love that. I find that very inspiring. Oh yeah, really enjoy that style. And then here's some tips about using the supplies. Swatch out your colours, do them wet and dry to see the difference. Can be used on paper, ceramics, wood and fabric. Now I've tried it on wood, paper and fabric. I had no idea you could use them on ceramics. Surely it would have to be ceramics with a kind of a tooth to them. Smudge, use your cotton bud or a finger, whatever works for you. Look at all these different colours you can mix from the colours that we've got here. That would be an interesting thing to do. For example, adding a dab of flamingo pink into the iron blue will brighten it. Add a little more to create a lovely purple. So we'll experiment with a bit of mixing up. Different ways to activate. Directly onto the page, so you just scribble onto the page and then use water to activate it. Use them dry like colouring pencils. You can colour back over dried painted areas to build intensity, or layer up. Onto a wet page, that has a very different reaction. I sometimes even dip the pencil into water. You can do that too, using in a palette. You can shave the lead off the pencils into the well of a palette. So if you have a textured palette, I've got a little hack to show you about that in a minute. Dry brush over the top of dry pigment to create a subtle texture. Gouache, if you want to make your paint lighter, mix it with white paint as opposed to watering it down. That was one of the things I wanted to try with this. Dab of white paint will ensure your colours are bright but milky. and you can layer over for highlights too, like they've done here. Layer, layer, layer. So once dry, the pigment isn't lifted like regular watercolour, so it's easy to layer over. Oh, that's a nice little warm-up session idea. Love that. And this is behind the artwork, so behind this it's all about how the inspiration behind this piece that she's created here, so that'll be really interesting to read. Nice to see the stages of her work and read about what she was. Oh, she included certain things like a candlestick birthday present from her friend Harriet. And this is always one of my favourite bits, the Scrawler Gallery, because you get to see if any of your friends have their pieces in here. When I see anyone, I recognise the name Sally Townsend. God, some beautiful things. So this was from ScrawlrBox 102. I think 101 was the last box I had. This featured a set of Viviva metallic watercolour sheets. I've used Viviva sheets, but not metallic ones. Oh, I bet they were lovely to play with. So the inspiration, the prompt was fire and ice. Lady Doodlebug, hey! Oh, so Kate Does Arts, I love that. Grumpy Stitcher, actually that would make a very good Stitch design actually, wouldn't it? Wow, the yin yang symbol, but done in that way. Very clever. Flames and a snowflake crystal. Clever people. And then over the page, it will be the top 3. Oh, look at these. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, everybody. Oh, look, Maisie's collection. Now, there always used to be. Yeah, there still is. There's an article at the back kind of related to the theme of the box, but so this is new. So this is a Scrawler Extra, Maisie's collection. I'm sure many of us have that kind of eclectic mixture of containers on our desk and artwork pinned up. Have a good read of that later. Traditional journaling involves documenting habits and daily life through writing. Creative journaling incorporates this while allowing you to explore your inner world through more artistic mediums. And they talk about nurturing creativity, mental health and personal growth. Okay, so then this is the fun part as well. ScrawlrBox 104. This month's box is all about documenting a patchwork of possessions. Take inspiration from our featured artist by collecting your thoughts, a mishmash of items or the ingredients of your day. Shop front or jumble sale, however you wish to display your wares. Plan, sketch, mark, make and paint with all the supplies included to bring your collection to life. And the word is hodgepodge. I love this challenge and I'm really going to enjoy that. So before I finish up here, let's just do a quick swatch of the colours. I will try them out more thoroughly in the next video. I'll be doing the prompt. I shall be doing that with all of the boxes. I'll come back and do a second video doing the activity. But I just want to try out the supplies first. So and I will experiment with mixing the colours and stuff, but for today I'm just going to swatch them as they are. So this is Pink Flamingo. So you can see you can get quite a deep colour there with these. I like that the paper's relatively smooth to use with these. And then this little pointy brush. So this is where ink tints come into their own when you wet them with water. Look at that. Hey. And like they said, you can also, I just use the same one to show you. You can use them straight onto wet paper and you get that really vivid colour straight away. Another thing I quite like to do is to get a wet brush and flick the colour off the brush. If you do it with a bigger brush you get something more definite, and you can get these lovely little spatters, little texture. I would use a bigger brush for it normally, but you get the idea. For my palette now, Okay, I can't find it, so I'm going to have to break into a new one. So what I do, instead of buying an expensive textured palette, I get these. So I just bought this cheap at a local supermarket as a chopping board. If I just open it up a minute, 2 for £8 or something. I don't know, they were cheap, so I got 2. So you can see that on one side it's not so textured, on this side it's very textured. And these are very, very similar to the quite expensive ones you can buy as an art supply. This is a much cheaper way of doing it. So let's take another colour. This is the olivine. So if I, instead of going straight onto the paper, I just scribble onto the palette. Like they said in the little booklet in the zine, you can use a little blade to just scrape some pigment off as well and do it that way. But I find this quite convenient. Where's my brush gone? So now I can activate the pigment on here, and I've got like a little pool of paint. So I can just use it straight onto the paper like that. I could also use it wet in wet. So it's, in some ways you can use them a bit like you do watercolours. You just need to bear in mind that they're permanent once you've activated them with water and they've dried. As long as you make sure you have, sometimes people think they're not permanent, they still move when you re-wet them. They don't if you have fully wet them, fully activated them. If you've left some pigment unactivated, then yes, it will still move when you re-wet it. I think that bit's dry now, so I can show you that. Look, see, it won't move at all because that's been thoroughly activated. Just to show you, let's pick another colour again. This is what they're meaning, that you can just shave some bits off the pencil like this, take your brush and activate it. And again, you can then just use that as paint. And you can also then dip things like silk ribbon and fabrics and things in there, and colour or threads, and colour your own threads. That's something I might do a little bit of when I come back as well. I always end up with a completely messy swatch. So I haven't got any ribbon or anything handy that I can show you right now. I'll show you on fabric when I come back. The other thing I've done, which I might be able to show you an example of, is that you can actually draw onto fabric, activate using aloe vera gel. I've done it with IPA as well. So that it doesn't run outside your lines, and you can actually use it to paint little motifs on fabrics as well. You can do so many things with these. What I want to try now is activating the colour with a paint. So let's pick this iron blue. And instead of using water, we'll use the gouache to activate it. I'm just going to put a little bit out on my palette there. Oh, it's all orangey, look. Well, I'll tell you what, while I'm here then, I'm going to see how well that will go over there. Yeah, so that layers over really well because I've already activated and that paint underneath has dried. I can go over the top. And I should be able to get quite a nice dense coverage. Yeah. Okay, so if I use this, it's a bit orangey, so it might muddy it slightly, but let's see what happens if I do this instead of water. Oh yeah, I like that. Oh, I'm going to enjoy playing with these. I really am. I've so missed my ScrawlrBox. So let's just quickly, before I get distracted again, I'm just going to put all of these colours down in order, just so we can see the range of colours that we've got. So if you think about Oh, look at that. If you think about the different colours that you can get by mixing some of these, and then you've got the extra scope of being able to add the gouache and get the more sort of chalky finish, the pastel-y kind of versions of these colours. There's enormous scope here. Love that iron blue, it's one of my favourites. I've got a couple of them in my collection already, but as I say, they'll always come in. So that's it, that's the basic colours as they are. Plus we've got this, plus we've got the brush. Put all this up, all the other goodies here. We've got, where's the, oh, this is the pad of course. And my lovely inspiration piece here. Yeah, very excited to come back and have a go at that challenge. And like Scrawl have always said, you know, there's no rule about having to use only what's in the box. You know, you need to kind of make what's in the box, I suppose, the main focus of it. But if I want to add in, say, you know, a fine liner or something, or if I want to use a pencil and an eraser to sketch out my design, I'm not going to not do that because it's not in the box. I will still use that. Well, I think that's all I need to say for now. My cogs will start turning now as to what I'm going to do for the prompt. I think it's going to be one I'll really enjoy. I know I'm going to enjoy the ink tints. I just remembered I was going to quickly show you the website as well. So here we go. Here's the ScrawlrBox website. This is where you go to subscribe. This is the current monthly art challenge. That'll be the top 3 there. All the information you need is there. I'm just checking what the current price is. There we go. So there's the ScrawlrBox subscription. That's £20.95 a month, and that includes your postage as well. You can subscribe monthly, or you can buy 3 months, 6 months or 12 months ahead. You can also do it as a gift. You can buy individual previous boxes, and there's lots of other merchandise here as well. Some of the supplies that you get in the boxes go out individually as well. Let's just have a look at some previous boxes. Here we go. So this is the current one, box 109, 108. Yeah, you can go through here and have a look, and if you click on the individual ones, you can have a look at the details of what was included in the box. I can't show you the sub club page because I'm not a subscriber anymore, but if you are a subscriber, you get access to this sub club page, and there are like things like free downloads and special offers and all kinds of things going on in there. Love that little illustration. You can see that if you're buying the individual box, it's £24.95, whereas when you subscribe, it's £20.95 a month. So that's good, isn't it? They also do a monthly live stream, and they do some like shorter videos as well, like showing how to use the supplies and things. They're very active in their Facebook and Instagram. I haven't had a look at their Discord community recently. I think it's a relatively new thing for them, but I'm sure that's really busy as well. Yeah, so they're a lovely bunch of people. It's a lovely community, and I very much enjoyed my subscription for the time that I had it. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling on now, and I will be back tomorrow with the next one, and I'll be back kind of next week now to do this prompt. Thanks very much for joining me today. I hope you found that useful. I will put links to ScrawlrBox, of course, in the description box below, and also my link tree, so you can find your way to our Facebook group and Discord community. That's it for now. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye.